This is the third video of the series in which we talk about the pillars of the rulers. Today, we are going to focus on the topic of the warrior. War is a complex and a bloody affair. It requires keen observation, intelligence about enemy strengths and weaknesses, and a carefully devised assault or a counter-assault, also known as defense in some cases. A warrior must be able to execute all these while maintaining the ranks or morale of their detachment. The art of becoming a warrior is to be a student and a master at the same time. First, the warrior must learn to live the life of discipline. Then the warrior must master a weapon, and along with that, he must also know how to use the array of all the weapons of choice used in a war. Once this basic criteria has been achieved, then the warrior must learn the strategy of warfare. He who conquers himself is the mightiest warrior. This statement speaks a lot about the birth and life of a warrior. To live the life of a warrior is harder than dying in the battlefield. A warrior must master self-discipline, show physical endurance, stay calm in the face of certain death. Only then one may become someone who dances with death to ensure the freedom and security of his people. The need for warriors arose when the tribes and their settlements became successful and accumulated a substantial amount of wealth. This period goes before the period of formation of first city-states. First, warriors fought for the protection of their kin. They were the fathers, brothers, and generally related to the same patriarch who founded their tribe. The tribe that produced more men had more warriors and were well defended against the invaders. If these very same tribes assumed the role of the invaders in order to acquire the resources from other tribes, they became the most dominant tribe in that region. Warriors soon attracted the attention of rulers, who started to incorporate them into their system in order to defend their city-states. Warriors generally were divided into two classes. This was the officer corps, which was comprised of those who were born into the nobility and were higher born. Then there was the general corps that consisted of the soldiers who came from the peasantry or were lower born. Officer corps had to adhere to the higher standards and had to undergo the training that was not just physically demanding but also intellectually challenging. The general corps soldiers formed the military machine who had to adhere to the discipline and directions of their officers. Well-disciplined general corps soldiers, combined with the governance skill of the officers, formed a system that was capable of delivering tactical and strategic damage to the opponent in a battle. A true warrior cannot be made just by training someone in a military academy. By training someone in a military academy, one can create a well-trained military administrator, but there is more to becoming a warrior. Recent advancements into gene research have helped in isolating certain genes that are responsible for expressing certain traits in an organism. Most part of this research is carried out to isolate the gene causing the health concerns. But part of this research has helped isolate a gene in humans that is responsible for expressing rage or anger. The gene has been isolated as monoamine oxidase. It is a gene on X chromosome. In simple words, it travels through the mother. Maybe we can talk more about this in the future videos. Coming back to the discussion of the warrior and their relationship to the rulers. As soon as the settlements were formed, warriors became an essential part of the ruling elite. Whether it be to keep peace and order, or whether it be in helping the rulers in waging the war in defense of the settlements, or in the accrual of resources from another settlement. Trade could be a good way and a peaceful way of tapping these resources, but it's a process that could take generations. Sometimes nations are in dire need of acquisitions at a short notice, and waging war is a means to that. Just like the merchants, there have been several instances where the warriors were a direct threat to the ruling elite and did succeed in taking the power out of the hands of the rulers. Exception to this was societies like ancient India, where the warriors or the Kshatriyas were a de facto rulers, guided by the Brahmins, who were the policymakers, think tanks, and formed the bureaucratic class. The way of the warrior is fading away with the gelding of our society and the emergence of an effeminate technocratic class replacing the way of the masculine warrior. And that is because of the fact that the technocratic class has its values aligned with the merchants. One does not have to look deep into our society to find the ill effects of this change on the men of the society. Suddenly, the testosterone that was the protector and the preserver has been rendered useless. Nature has its way of self-correcting. In my opinion, we are in for a great awakening by Mother Nature, as one of its greatest achievements and the driving force is being ignored in the policies of our states. Glorification of the feminine in the worst possible way, and the decoupling of the two energies of yin and yang could have devastating effects on the natural order of things. Effects that we may not be well prepared for. I am not opposed to progress as long as it does not forget the role and sacrifices that the warrior made throughout our human history. I know that I have not produced any content in several months, but if you have continued to be the part of this journey, I thank you for that. I will continue to post more content in coming months. In my next video, I will talk about the bureaucrat and its role in shaping the world as we know it. I want to thank my subscribers for their subscription. I hope this channel makes your YouTube journey entertaining and informative. Creating content takes time and effort. Please like, share, and subscribe if you find my content valuable. I am your humbled host for Whispers of Veracity. Thanks for listening to me.